everyone, it's Megan with AboveRubyStudio.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited because I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of Viva Decor Paper Soft Color and how it can really make your scrapbook pages come to life. And we're going to be doing some shadowing and some fun different techniques. I made this layout, I cut everything out, I had my picture already matted, really have things ready to go, but I wanted to show you guys how I did that and what I did first. I used my Gypsy to create this layout. All right, so just so you guys can get a really good look here of exactly what I did, I just want to show you the pages. I have a couple different pages of layers so you can see each one. And I used, well, we can go in and check and see exactly what cartridge I used, but I used the Camp Out cartridge. But just to show you, these are the trees from Camp Out, and I made them individually 6.45 by 6.25, 6.25 in height. So if you're cutting it out without a Gypsy, 6.25, you'll need to cut out 2 of these, but I welded them together, so you can see there's 2 different trees here. So if I undo this and move this, you can see there's 2 different sets of these. I layered these trees right here on top of each other, and then I welded them together. So what it did was it created a full background across my page. You can see this is the tree that was welded together, and I cut that out twice in 2 different colors of cardstock. So that is what that is. And then my second layer, I did 2 different sizes of the dirt bikes from the Camp Out cartridge. I did one at a height of almost 2.5. It actually came to be 2.446 with the Gypsy. I got real technical here. And then I did one at 3.25. So 3.25 and 2.5 basically is the sizes you would want to do. And then I did the shadow, and I laid it out on here so that I could load in my blue cardstock and my black cardstock on one sheet in my Cricut, and I was done with that. Then I cut out mud flaps, or mud tracks, not flaps, mud tracks. I made them 1.22 inches, and I did the shadow and the actual thing, so they came out like this. And I'm actually only going to use one. I cut out 4, basically, but I'm going to only use one set. Or no, I lied. I cut out all 4, and I'm going to use all 4, I think. We'll see. And I did that in 2 different colors of brown. So if you take a look, I did a chocolate and more of a milk chocolate. I don't know, 2 different colors of brown. So to see what cartridge I used for this A Good Life, I'm going to go to my little keypad overlay down here in my right corner. And then I'm just going to hold down on one of the letters, and it comes up as Don Juan. Another way to do that, if you want to see what cartridge you used, is if you select your white bar here, the Q bar here. It gives you different options of what to show. And if we click on cartridges in use, these are the cartridges that we use to create this layout. We use the Camp Out, Create a Critter, and Don Juan. All right. So we'll go back to our overlay. And then page 5, I cut out some clouds, but I don't think I'm actually going to use them. And that was what was from the Create a Critter, the clouds. So we're done with this. We already have everything cut out with our Cricut. All right, and the paper that I used pretty much exclusively for this was a clearance item from Walmart. This was the Best Occasions textured cardstock. I happen to know that American Crafts cardstock is very similar, and that's available over at Crafty Corner on sale right now, and there's like the earth tones that you can get, and it's very similar. So if you can't find this earth tones from Best Occasions, that's a very similar kind of cardstock that you can use for this layout if you want to do something very similar. All right, so let's start creating. I want to show you guys how we're going to lay this all out. I have a 5x7 photo of my family. They dirt bike ride, my husband. I'm the only one that doesn't, you can see, and my little boy, Ben. This was taken before Genevieve was born. I was actually pregnant with her when this picture was taken. So it was a long time ago, but I want to scrapbook it because they still ride a lot. And I already have the dirt bikes assembled together, or yeah, dirt bikes. These are 4-wheelers. I think I would get yelled at by my family. I have this one assembled, and I'm just going to glue this one together, but I want you to see how they layer up with the shadow. It's pretty cool. It just gives that extra dimension of it actually being a 4-wheeler and everything. So really like that a lot. I'm just going to adhere this together real quick. I'm going to use my Scotch Quick Dry just because I have it handy here. So there is your dirt bike, really simple, pretty cute. Set them aside. I keep saying dirt bike. I'm really going to get myself in a lot of trouble here. It's not a dirt bike. It's a 4-wheeler. All right, now what we want to do is give some life to these trees. We want to give them some texture and some dimension. And I'm going to just set everything aside that we're going to be working with, and we're going to work on a craft mat. And what I'm going to do is grab my Score Buddy. This is the miniature Score Pal that Diana Crick had invented. And I like it because it's a 6" by 6", so it's a lot easier to keep on my desk when I'm just working with quick things. And what I'm going to do is go through here and I'm going to add a little bit of scoring to some of these trees, right down, not necessarily center of all the trees, but just in different places on these trees. And not necessarily straight all the way through every single one. We're just going to add a little bit here and there. Just find different grooves, go down in them. All right, so now I'm going to turn it and I'm just going to do a little bit more going the other way. And you can kind of put it on an angle if you want to, and it'll give a little bit more angle in the tree and kind of go back and forth. Just sort of decide where you want it to go. And you can really just sort of see it's going to give all that really nice grooving texture. All right, so there are those trees. And then these trees are going to go underneath. So we're going to do a little bit something even more different with this. We're actually going to do a little bit more folding and distressing. So we're actually just going to bend and fold these trees all kinds of up. These are going to go behind and underneath this other set of green ones here. So we're really just bending, folding. Do that a little bit with this one, but not as much. Just more along the tops here. Little curling. Get that folds in there. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab some Viva Decor Paper Soft Color, and this is in Walnut Brown. And the Paper Soft Color is a really, really wet, fluid kind of ink, and it's very, very, very wet. It comes in a little container here, and you're going to want to use a sponge. This is the Viva Decor sponge. As you press in here, it's going to ink up and juice up your sponge really well. And you're not going to want to saturate your sponge. You really just want a little tiny bit. And this will blend and blend and blend and blend, and it's going to go a really long way. We're going to be doing some more with this later, but basically right now I just want to show you inking the edges of your trees to give that dimension, some shadow, and some texture here. This stays, like I said, wet a really, really, really long time. So you're going to be able to go kind of back over and move it and blend it and do a lot of things with it. So if you get a really harsh line, like right there, I kind of got a harsh line. If you turn it on its side and just sort of blend, or grab a clean sponge and blend, it's going to smooth right out. So you're not going to have harsh lines with this Paper Soft Color, which I really, really like about it. It's very, very, very easy to work with. And you will want to heat set it if you're in a hurry because, like I said, it stays wet for a long time. I'm going to grab a little bit more and I'm going to go really harsh, really hard down here on the trunks of these trees. Now there's all kinds of colors available for this Paper Soft Color of Viva Decor, and you will be able to create backgrounds. You can stamp with this. If you stamp, if you use your sponge applicator and you stamp on your acrylic stamps or your wood stamps, just by applying it in kind of a stencil-like pattern, you can stamp. It's going to give you a really soft, very fluid looking application. It's very beautiful. So that is one really great way to add a lot of life to your scrapbook pages here. It really took these trees and made them much more lifelike than just a flat piece of cardstock cut out. We're going to do the same thing with these. Dirty them up a bit. I'm going to turn this over and do the back side along the tops of the trees, just because I want to get those white core edges. See how quickly those smudge lines fade out? You can just wipe up your mat with your sponge and then rinse this out really, really good because it will stay wet and contaminate other colors if you use the same sponge. So you'll just want to clean that up. But we'll set this aside. We're going to be doing more with Paper Soft Color in different weeks and different videos as time goes on, but I just wanted to give you guys a little preview of that today and how that really livens up your scrapbook layouts and pages. All right, So now we have, I'm going to set this aside so we don't get any color contamination on here. We have our light blue cardstock here. And we have our trees. We can kind of decide which way we want these to go. If we want them to fully spread out across our page and really have them offset, we can do that. Or we can do them pretty right on top of each other. I think in this case I'm going to offset pretty significantly. And we'll have these green ones come up a little bit higher in the back. All right, now what I want to do, I'm going to figure out exactly where I want this photo to go, and it's going to be somewhere in the close to the middle. Something kind of like that. Figure out where we want our mud tracks to be. I kind of thought it would be fun to have them come down, one over the picture and one under the picture. And we'll kind of see how this looks here. All right, so we're just applying everything down where we want it on our scrapbook layout. This is going right here. We're going to pop dot up this four-wheeler. I'm going to do a little bit of white gel pen on here just to give it a little bit of extra something. We don't really want to bling up a four-wheeler too much. And if I just called it a dirt bike again, I am going to get shot. It's a four-wheeler! An all-terrain vehicle. Anyway, we're not going to bling it, but we are going to add a little accent with white gel pen. Let me tell you what, where these guys ride, they come home crazy muddy. It's up in the coal region of Pennsylvania, so they ride through a lot of old coal mines and things like that, so they get dirty. All right, so the final thing we want to do is add our title. And it says The Good Life. And again, this is from the Don Juan cartridge. So we just want to kind of figure out where we want this to go. And I'm definitely going to ink up the edges. And the reason why I chose The Good Life, many of you may or may not know, my family, my last name, my parents' last name is Good. So The Good Life fits quite well because that really is what it is. This is our lives. All right. So basically it's going to go like this. We're going to do some basic inking. Get rid of that white core. Very simple. Going to give a nice little bit of extra dimension and texture. Blend everything together real nice for us. And that is how we're going to make our page come to life. Okay, and I'm just using Scotch adhesive to put down these letters here, and then I'm going to pop up the word good. I'm just using regular pop dots for the word good. You can cut them apart if you need to. Now you could definitely add those clouds. I had one here and one here on the initial layout, but I really decided that I wanted to keep it simple and I didn't really want to add the clouds this time, but you could definitely do something along those lines if you really want it to, you know, make it a full scene or anything like that. What I am going to do is just grab a little bit of my bronze pearl pen from Viva, and I'm just going to add just a little bit more down here under the dirt bike. This is a little blingy, but it's a brown and it's going to be kind of soft, so it's just going to look like a little bit of dimension and mud kind of coming out. So we're going to do it right on the mud tracks here and a little bit on the actual dirt bike itself. Just giving it that little bit of dirt bike and riding four-wheeling feel. And there is the page for today. I hope you guys enjoyed and absolutely have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for more Tuesday tutorials. Bye!